Hi everybody, back again with another video. So I hope you enjoyed the VE Day celebrations over the bank holiday. Hopefully you managed to make the toad in the holes, or you made something that was one of the last dishes that we've done. Celebrate brownies or scones or something like that. And hopefully you enjoyed yourself and everyone's all right out there. So today we're going to do something slightly different. We're looking at fondant potatoes. Now, you might have heard that before. You might have seen things like MasterChef on the TV. They use this a lot. It's a very chefy thing to do, but it's really, really easy. But the result is brilliant. So all we need is our potatoes, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. We need some butter. So you need about 100 grams of butter. It's quite a lot. Yeah, it's not a very healthy dish, but it's a great accompaniment for lots of different things that you might cook. We need 100 grams of chicken stock. So I've boiled my kettle and I've put my stock cube in, and then I've just mixed it up so it's all disintegrated into there. Okay. And then some garlic. I've got my garlic puree there, which is really good stuff. It's just concentrated garlic, basically. You just put a little bit in, saves you having to chop garlic up and things like that. And I've got a little bit of rosemary here as well for flavor. I've got this rosemary from the school, which is great. So it's on the site, which is great for me. I can just access it anytime. Been very sustainable. So in my pan here, I've got my potatoes. And what I've done is I've peeled them. Just got normal baking potatoes here. I peeled them off, and then I've just cut them. So obviously a potato looks like that. Yeah, I've just chopped the ends off. You can have them whatever size you want, but make sure they're uniform in size. They have to be the same size. If they're all different sizes, they're going to cook at different rates, and you're going to end up with different amounts of softness. Some are going to be hard, some are going to be soft. You want them all to be the same. So my width, yeah, really important, the width is the same, okay? The size can alter, but the width, the depth needs to be the same on them, yeah? So they need to sit in the pan the same width. So just chop that one in half. You can make yours big or thick or small. On the chef programs, they tend to do like quite big ones, quite chunky ones. Takes a little bit longer, but I'm doing sort of a little bit smaller ones. So I've managed to chop a potato in about half for each one. So all we're going to do in a pan is we're going to put a little bit of oil. Yeah, a couple tablespoons of oil on our potatoes. Just make sure they've got a good covering. It's really important when you do things like this. They say to oil a pan. Actually, what you want to do really is oil the food, because the food is what's cooking. You're not cooking the pan. So the pan can get oil on it, but it will get it from the food. So oil your food rather than your pan. Jamie Oliver was the one that taught me that. Okay, so that goes on. This might be quite loud, so I'm going to do my best to talk my way through it. Yeah, so it's going on a relatively high heat. I'm going to brown these potatoes on both sides for about 5 minutes. So that's going on. I need to cook that for about 5 minutes on one side, and then I need to flip them over and cook on the other side for about 5 minutes until they're browned. Okay, so this is a great dish to do. It's really easy. As I said, though, the results are really good, and you'll love what comes from the taste. Yeah, we've got garlic and rosemary in there. They're great flavors for potatoes. It's a great accompaniment for most meats. So I'm going to do this with steak tonight, down to the local shop, and got some relatively cheap steaks, which is really good. And also some asparagus. It's asparagus season at the moment, so they're in bloom. They're in season, which is a great thing to get if you can get it at the moment. And they taste great. And what you can do is, once you've finished this, you can use what's left in this pan to grill your asparagus in, and it just takes on the flavour of what's already in the pan. So I'm just going to chop up my rosemary while I'm waiting. Chop it nice and fine. You can hear those are starting to sizzle away. Okay, so in a few minutes we're going to turn them over what we're looking for is a nice sort of browned, crisp edge to it. Okay, obviously it's not going to cook all the way through, because that's what's going to be done later on. I'm going to show you the process for that. This should take about sort of just under an hour in total, everything. Okay, so it is a relatively long process with potatoes, but as I said, the results are really good, and you haven't really got to do much to produce some really excellent potatoes. Yeah, so just chopping my rosemary up nice and fine. Okay, and I chopped up rosemary there. I'm going to use that later. My garlic. Okay, and my butter as well. I've got it cubed up there. Yeah, so I cubed it up. It's not all in one big lump. Okay, so they're sizzling away nicely. You can hear them, I expect, on the video. So what I'm going to do in a second is just flip them over. Flip them over. I'm going to use my tongs. Okay, good thing to have in the kitchen. Nice, good set of tongs. Got these off Amazon, quite cheap. So relatively inexpensive. Okay, they're just sitting in my pan, these potatoes. They're not sort of overlapping or anything. They're not touching the sides. They're just sat nicely in my pan. And you do need a relatively big pan for this. Yeah, if you're going to use a tiny pan, you're probably not going to fit as many potatoes in. So nice, good, solid pan you can use. I'm going to flip those over a little bit early. They're crispy nicely. I know it's not quite been 5 minutes yet, but we'll turn them over twice. Okay, so some of them are looking quite brown. Some of them are looking sort of less brown. All right. You've got ones that aren't quite as brown, and you notice that there is a place on the pan where they are quite brown. Then just move the ones that aren't brown to the place where it is browning quite well. Yeah, use your common sense. Okay, so flip those over. I'm going to turn my pan around. Change where the heat goes. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying the series. Got about 24 views on one of the videos, which is great. Soon I'll be trending probably on Twitter and sort of have my own series. But for now, just keep viewing the videos. That would be great. Keep liking them on what's it called, on Twitter and on YouTube. They're all accessed on there. You can view them on the LP at Home app. And yeah, anything you want me to cook, just let me know. Or any questions you've got about different things, I'm happy to answer any questions. These are all recipes which I've found and I've adapted and I've used. So yeah, there's no reason why at home you can't do the same. Okay, anything you liked or stuff that didn't quite work, let me know. Any pictures you've got, send in as well. Okay, because this is probably about the 7th or 8th video now, so we're doing quite well. Okay, I've been commissioned by Channel 4 soon for a second series. All right. Potatoes are a really versatile thing. Okay, you can use them for lots of different things. Okay, particular things I like to do with potatoes, besides sort of this, is obviously mash. Yeah, nice smooth mash with butter, maybe a bit of cream, and then you can add things like horseradish in there, which adds a little bit of sort of bite to it. You've got things like dauphinoise, which are brilliant. Yeah, you can sort of pre-boil the potatoes, similar shapes, sort of sautéed and cut. Yeah, and then just adding cream, milk, and then cheese and butter in there as well. Yeah, it gives it a really rich flavour and some creamy texture. Okay, you can play about with things. Yeah, just use different things. You can make your own chips. Okay, you can use other things like sweet potatoes. You made sweet potato wedges last night, put a little bit of seasoning on. They were delicious. Okay, so it's really easy, really simple thing to use potatoes, but it's a great complement. It's obviously a staple of the British diet, so we need to be using them when we can. Okay, so they're going nice and crispy now. I've talked long enough so that they can get a good crisp on them. And then we're just going to turn them over one more time. So we've got crispness. Okay, the best way to do this, slide the tongs underneath and then just flip. Okay, because you don't want to be putting your hand in there because it's quite hot a pan, as I've just demonstrated. Okay, you can see, hold on up to the camera, yeah, they're going quite crispy there. Yeah, browning nicely. All right, so in about 1 or 2 minutes time, all I'm going to do is turn the heat right down to a low setting, because this is really high now. Yeah, and be careful when you're doing this because it can obviously burn. All right, so just be careful, make sure you're being aware of what's going on. All right, so what I'm going to do is when I turn the heat down, I'm going to add the butter and it's going to sizzle away. So you're not going to hear me very well. Okay, it's going to be sizzling quite vigorously, and then the butter's going to melt in there. That's what we want. We want it to just combine in there, okay, because the pan is still going to be hot. We'll turn that heat down slightly now to a lowish heat, and we want to cook this out for about 40 minutes. Okay, so my stock's going in as well. Yeah, and we're going to cook that out for about 40 minutes. Okay, what I'm going to do is with my stock, because I don't really want to add it all into the pan necessarily at different times, so I'm going to put a little bit of garlic into there, little squeeze into my chicken stock. Okay, about half a teaspoon of that, and then my rosemary in there as well. Okay, so once that's all going to be mixed, pre-mixed, so that I don't have to worry about it burning or anything like that. Okay, give that a good mix. I've got my rosemary, my stock, and my garlic all in one now. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, let's turn down. The heat's lowering a little bit. It's still going to be very hot when I put the butter in, so you need to be very careful not to sort of splatter in your face. Okay, that butter's going to go in now, and I'm going to place it around different places. Yeah, so I'm going to put one in this side, one over this side, a couple in this side. You can hear it sizzling away now, getting quite loud. We want the butter to melt in there. Yeah, we're just putting it in and amongst the potatoes, all in different places, so we get an even covering of butter. It's slowly melting away. We don't need to touch it or do anything to it necessarily. I'm going to use my wooden spoon in a second to move it around. Okay, just make sure that we're getting all the butter melted and the potatoes are going to be coated. Yeah, we don't have to flip them yet. They can stay where they are. We just want a good even covering of butter in there on our potatoes. Okay, let that butter melt in, let it melt away. It will be bubbling and nice, and it looks sort of delicious already. Yeah, just let it bubble away. It's going to melt a little bit, and once it's all melted, all we're going to do is we're going to add this in. We've got our stock, our rosemary, and our garlic. Try and pour it in the gaps. Cover different areas. Okay, and you can hear that bubbling away straight away. Okay, so that's what we want. We want it to be bubbling, we want it to be simmering, we want those potatoes to take on all that butter and that flavour. Okay, in my pan, I've got 12 potatoes. Okay, so I'm feeding 3 people. They're going to get 4 potatoes each, which is great. If you've got more people to feed, put more potatoes in there. Okay, but remember, obviously, you need to make sure they all fit in the pan flat. Okay, they can't be overlapping or sideways or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to cook down now for about 40 minutes. Relatively low heat, and it's bubbling away. Okay, so every sort of 5-10 minutes, I'm just going to flip them. I'm going to turn them over. Yeah, and to do that, as I said, just get the tongs underneath and just turn them. We want them to be covered and take on all of that flavour. Okay, potatoes are obviously going to cook in the liquid. Yeah, so just as you would boil a potato in a pan, you're using the frying pan with the liquid in to cook those potatoes. Okay, so we want them to be nice and soft. The way you can test that is with a knife. You're just going to stick the knife in, okay? And it should go straight all the way through relatively easily. Yeah, it shouldn't be firm. It should be nice and soft. Okay, just like a nice roast potato you'd get on the inside. It'd be nice and soft. Okay, maybe a little bit hard on the outside. Yeah, so that's it, guys. These are going to boil away for 40 minutes. Before that, obviously you need to just be checking on them, turning them every 5-10 minutes, keeping an eye on it. Yeah, that liquid in there should be fine. That's going to boil away gradually. Yeah, but if it goes too quickly, turn the heat down, or maybe you need to add a little bit more stock in there. Okay, or you could even add a little bit more butter if you wanted to. Cool. So what I'll do is I'll post the recipe and I'll post the method and also a picture of the final products. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a go at this. It's really easy, but as I say, it looks very impressive and it will taste delicious for you. Okay. Thanks again. View the video. Okay. Post any questions you've got, and hopefully I will see you next time.